Hi there guys, welcome back to the mushroom market. So I know it's been quite some time since I have been on and chatted to you guys and done a bit of crafting, but it's been quite a hectic month for me. There's been a lot of sickness in my house. I've been sick, my kids have been sick on numerous occasions. My husband had to have a minor operation and they brought our house completion date forward by 1 month. So we've been having to deal with a lot of stuff, and in between that time I've been working on my second round of stash packs as well. So they were supposed to have gone out several weeks ago, but I just have not had the time to be working on them as much as I would have liked. So yeah, this awful virus thing that's going around here at the moment, I had it twice. My son, he got sick, and then he got sick for a second time, but he got sick where the whole side of his face swelled up and they thought that he had mumps. So he had to do some ultrasounds and some blood tests, and even though he had been immunized, they still said it could be possible that it's mumps or like some sort of a stone that's formed in his gland or something. So yeah, along with that, my hubby has not been able to walk since his operation very well, so a lot of craziness has gone down in my house at the moment, but I'm hoping it's sort of turning a corner now and I can get back onto doing some things. So I will put all that aside, and today I was working on just some little thank you packages to go along with my second round of stash packs. My reserve packs have already gone out to those people who had sort of requested them, and now I'm just working on the remaining lot that I'm going to release next week. So I'm making these little, I don't know what you call them, I guess call them vellum scrap packs, something like that, although some of them are made from vellum, and then some of them are made with this tracing paper here, which to me it looks exactly the same. I mean, if you guys could tell me the difference between vellum and tracing paper, that'd be great, because I just can't notice any difference between the weight or the transparency. So anyway, I was working on that today and I thought I might switch on the camera and maybe we could just sort of put these together on camera and just have a little bit of fun. So these ones here, I haven't decorated the front, but with this one I just popped a little thing that says scraps. Literally all this is filled with some of my scraps, because I thought one, it's great to de-stash your scraps, and two, you know, some people don't have, well, you know, we all have different stuff, and maybe it'd be fun for somebody else to create little embellishments out of different sort of items that they don't have. So that's where I kind of came up with this little scrap pack. It's sewn together, it's completely sewn shut with some crazy stitching, as you can see here. This thread that I used is like a red stitching, but I changed my thread out and now I'm going to use pink, I think. But I thought what you could probably do is just cut it open across here, take all the stuff out, and if you wanted you could reuse this pocket, or, well, that's actually glued down, but yeah, you could maybe cut it off here and reuse that side or something. But anyway, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and they've all got sort of different bits and pieces in there. There's not really a set amount of scraps. I just sort of pile in what I think looks okay and sort of stitch it up. So I'll pop all these ones aside, and I thought I'll work on a couple more here on camera with you guys. So all I grabbed, I didn't go out and grab more vellum. My cheapish kind of store used to sell vellum for a reasonable price, but now I can really only find it at Officeworks here, and it's about $6 for a little A5 packet. So it was better value for me to grab a pad of tracing paper, so I did that. So I'm just going to, I think this is about an A4 size It's very hard for you to see tracing paper, but I thought it's a good size because then you can just fold it in half like this. So all I do is I fold it in half like this, and then I take it to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to sort of do a straight stitch on 3 sides here, leaving one side open, and then I fill it up, and then I take it back to my sewing machine. I do like really crazy stitching all around to seal it up, and that's my process. So I think what I'll go and do now is I will set up my sewing machine and we'll get started making these little scrap vellum slash tracing paper pockets, I guess. But anyway, I'll see you guys in a second. Alright you guys, so I've got my tracing paper here just folded in half under my machine. I've got some pink thread here, and I'm hoping this pink thread's going to work okay because this is a very cheap thread and it's not the brand I normally use, but I ran out of my other ones, so let's hope this pink thread sort of holds up. Now all I'm going to do, I am in no way a very good sewer at all, but I'm just going to do a straight stitch all around here. It doesn't matter if it's straight or wonky, because I like wonkiness, so I'll probably go a little bit wonky here. And let me just make sure, sorry you guys, there was a bit of a wobble. I just want to make sure that my camera post isn't touching this table because it will make it wobble otherwise. Normally I don't have my sewing machine on this table because, yeah, it's not very sturdy, but for filming purposes I just brought it over. Snip that because my cutter here, it's really difficult to use. It doesn't cut very well. Alright, so there is my little vellum, not vellum, tracing paper pocket here. Now I'm going to sort of move the sewing machine out the way and we're going to pull out all of the scraps and see, oh actually what I might do you guys is I'll just off camera, I'm going to do this second pouch here. So I will see you guys back in a minute when we're ready to fill up these pouches. Alright you guys, so I've come back now and we're ready to fill up these little pouches. So I'm going to just pop those aside and bring across a bunch of scraps. I went into my drawer, one of my drawers, and pulled out a bunch of stuff and stuff that's around me, and there's fabric, and we'll cut out some, yeah, I cut these out. I don't know if I'll ever use them, maybe somebody else will. Wallpaper scraps, lace, brown paper, there's tea stain bits and pieces, handmade paper. So I like to put handmade paper, so I'm going to put two, what's this, little cutout there. 2 pieces of this handmade paper here that you can just sort of tear up and use however you like. Got some scrapbooking paper here, so I might just tear that in half, pop the piece down. These are going to be for the 2 separate packs there. Let's have a look. Got that cool brown paper that I really love, that crinkly paper. There's another piece of that. I have some scraps left over from, if you guys remember one of my haul videos, I got that awesome curtain that's got this Australian flora print on it, and that's actually gone into my stash pack, so now I've got scraps of it. So I will cut off some scraps here. It'll be fun to sort of use. Yeah, I don't measure anything, and I don't really have a set amount that I put in. So some vintage lined paper. There's bits of tea stained grid paper there. Got some wallpaper scraps here. So this is off one of the sheets that I've popped into my stash packs as well. So we'll pop a piece in each there. I've got some of this pink lace. So I'm going to cut off some here to pop in. It's lots of fun to attach different textures and things into the little pieces of collage or things that you're creating. I think this is great too to send to pen pals and stuff because they're light. I sort of want to keep it under 100 grams so I can send it in a letter. What else do we have here? I've got this Tim Holtz wallpaper. I'll tear off a piece of that. Let's see. Pieces of, this is just like a lined stamp that I stamped on some brown paper. So there's that one there. I've got another one I pulled out. There's that one there. I love to include stamped images, whether they be on fabric or yeah, paper or anything like that. I've got bits of vintage images here and things. Maybe I'll put moose in there and some dogs in there. Actually, I got these out of this book, and it was an old book, and I have to say I did not like this book. I don't know, it was just had a bit of, to me, seemed like animal cruelty in it, and yeah, I don't know if that's just the way things were seen back then or what, but yeah. I don't think it was really appropriate, some of the things they were talking about in the book. Some handmade paper, some pink handmade paper, throw that in. I've got, here's some more stamped images. I've got this stamped butterfly here. It didn't stamp properly, but I never throw those away because I think they're great to use on your embellishments, even if it's just partially stamped. So there's another one you can throw on there. Bits of lace. Where did I see the other one of that? See if I can find it. Where's the other one? I always save these little pieces of birds when I'm cutting out birds. Sometimes they'll have smaller pieces on the other side of the page. I don't want to throw those away, so I think they're cool to incorporate somehow, even if they are smaller images. So I might just tear around this and we can pop that there. And there's another one here, a little one here. So tear around that. So that can go there. What else do we have? Some more handmade paper here. Not handmade paper, sorry. More vintage wallpaper. It's one of my favourite ones, this one. And pop that down there. See how we're going. See if we've sort of got enough. Oh, I wanted to put some of this in. This is this awesome book that I'd found the other day at an op shop. So we'll pop a piece of that in there. It's like a table. 9 shillings and 8 pence. I'm not too sure exactly, but there were, it says Ready Reckoner. I don't know what that means, but it's a really cool pages with tables in it. Pop that piece in there, And what else? We'll sort of finish this up. I did like to throw on a couple of these little Tim Holtz people, and I've got some tickets here that are ones that I don't really put in my packs and things because they're torn, sort of torn tickets, so I thought that'd be good to pop on your embellishments somehow, perhaps. Is that one or two? But it's got stamped, vintage stamped advertising on the back there. So there's that one, and maybe I think the last thing we should put on, oh, do we put some of this on? This awesome green netting here. I love this stuff. So we'll chop up some of that. Put that in there. I think that might be getting to be about enough now. Let's put some vellum, or some lace here. We'll put a bit of lace on just to top it off, I think. And that'll do it. And now we're going to sort of push that aside. Pretend that my desk is all clean here. And we'll fit it in here, and then I'm going to take it back to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to stitch it all up and make a little sort of tag, I think, to go on top. So there you go. There's a little beetle there. He's quite cute. I'll put him at the front. There's that one, and this little pile of scraps here. Try and keep it in one pile because just until I've done stitching it, and then it can sort of, you can probably sort of shake it up a little bit, but make it spread around a bit. Alright guys, so now I'm going to pop my sewing machine back up here, and we'll do some crazy stitching, and we'll seal these little pouches up. Alrighty guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch this all up now. I don't know how well I stitched this before because I think it's sort of puckering a little bit on this pouch, but we'll see how we go. I'm just gonna do a straight stitch along the top, and then I'll sort of go a bit crazy. Try and hold it as straight together as possible. Okay guys, so that's sealed up at the top now, so let me go around and do another sort of border piece here. Please excuse the wobbling of the table too. Sort of just watching where that pile of scraps is sitting as well, because I don't want to stitch any sort of pieces in there. And I usually go and do a little bit more stitching around the place, so think I'll do just some more stitching over here. Let me just check that I'm still recording, guys. Yep. So I've got my little camera piece flipped around the other way so I can't see what I'm doing. So just making wiggly shapes, stitching everywhere. Having some fun. Oops, might help if we pop that foot down, hey? See what I mean? I am not a pro when it comes to sewing. Okay, so I think maybe that will do that one. Maybe we will pop a little bit of extra zigzag over here. And that'll do that piece there, guys. So I think I'll do the other one off camera, but you can see that's sort of that piece there. Done now with some crazy stitching. It's upside down. But I'll go now and I'll finish up the other pack, and then when I come back we will create perhaps a little piece just to sit on the top, and then they'll be done. Alrighty, so I finished sewing all these up now. I went a little bit crazy on this one, and then I tried new stitching that was supposed to be kind of like a lightning, and it didn't really work out too well, but it's okay. So these two here are done, and now I'm just going to sort of make maybe a little piece like this that can sit on top, and they'll be finished off, those two, but I have a lot more to make. I think I'll just tear some of this tea stained paper here, and I've got these little alphabet stamps, really old because I purchased them a number of years ago. Let me just pull this forward in case that's shaking a little bit, guys. So I'm just going to stamp the word scraps on there. It's always the letters have faded a little bit, or it's a bit hard to see them on the back of that, so and I need to find my S again. So there's that, it just says scraps. Put that aside, and I'm going to decorate it up a little bit with just some little bits and pieces, maybe this netting here, and what else do we have? Gosh, I have had this Tim Holtz fabric forever and I have not used it. Maybe pop that? No, I don't like that one. Maybe this pink lace, some handmade paper. I'll pop that on that side there, and that little piece. Sort of just going through my little scrap pile here. Okay, maybe we'll just pop it there, and then what I normally do is I'll just stitch around Just put a bit of glue to hold it down. That'll do there. Now I'll just stitch around there and I'll be back to pop it on one of my packs. Okay, so I've made this little piece here. Just got some stitching, it's the same sort of pink thread, and I think instead of, with this one here, I think I put it just there, but with this one I might pop it like up the top a little bit here. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue down. It's not really coming out very good, but it's enough to just sort of hold it on the paper there. Okay, so that'll do that pack, and now I've got to go and sort of work on decorating the others that I have here. But yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this little craft along with me video. I thought maybe you guys would enjoy doing something like this to send to pen pals or something like that, so that's why I jumped on to sort of share the process, and hopefully the people who receive these, if you know, you purchase one of my stash packs that'll be next week, hopefully you guys will like this little bonus thank you sort of gift that you can then play around with these little pieces and make your own embellishments and things like that. But thank you so much for joining me today, and for once again being a subscriber to my channel. And I hope you've all been doing really, really well. I hope most of you have been avoiding this awful virus that's been going around. I know poor Sue from Paper Inspirations has had it too. She's in the same area that I'm in, so yeah, it's everywhere. Anyway, you guys, I hope you have a lovely weekend ahead, and I will speak to you next week. Bye, guys.